Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. The ongoing construction projects at the Barnstable Municipal Airport continue to take shape, and another sign of the progress being made is now visible from the airport rotary. Last week, steel beams were set into place, forming the skeleton of what will eventually be the new 35,000 square foot passenger terminal. Our cameras were there to capture the latest milestone in the reconstruction of the airport campus. And after we got a good look, Airport Assistant Manager Frank Sanchez and Airport Commissioner John Griffin talked with us about the progress of the terminal project so far.
This is the beginning of steel erection for the basic frame of the new terminal building. And offset to your, when we were standing on the roof, offset to your left, you could see much more progress on the new air traffic control tower, but this is, from my point of view, just something really tangible now to replace this facility, which at age probably 50-ish is pretty well run down and inadequate for its job. So having sat on this commission now for a decade or more and been involved with this since the beginning, I can't tell you how happy I am to see the steel going up. It took a very, very, very long time to get to this point. And there was just gobs and, I can't tell you how many, not hours, but months and months and months of actual sitting at desks, sitting in meetings, work, that you couldn't see any result. At times you felt like you were going backwards. And
in some cases you were.
And in some cases we definitely were going backwards, and that was a very unpleasant, uncomfortable feeling. You feel like, Frank and his and Bud and the staff, they're great, but this is their job. For those of us on the commission, I'd like to emphasize a little bit to the folks out there, we're volunteers, we don't get paid. And we put a heck of a lot of time, energy, and effort into this, and again, when you can't see the results, there's nothing in front of you but a pile of papers, and sometimes the piles of papers don't have stuff in it you like. To suddenly go by here now and see machinery and steel and a tower and day-to-day work and day-to-day progress, it's great.
Of course, the new terminal is just one of the multiple construction projects going on at the airport. So we took the opportunity to get a progress update from Sanchez on the new air traffic control tower. Also, we learned more about how each project will move forward in the coming weeks and months. Frank, talk to us a little bit about how the whole construction process has moved along so far, and whether things are on budget, on schedule, and how you expect things to continue.
Okay, well, regarding the air traffic control tower, everything is on schedule. We're within our budget. No limiting factors regarding the weather. We're still working in the tower inside. Regarding the terminal, we're still on budget. We just started with the steel erection, and we'll continue with that for the next 2 weeks.
A couple of people had remarked that the terminal looked fairly small. He was saying that this is only a third. It will be built in thirds. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right now, they give us, Suffolk gives us a schedule, a 3-week schedule, and because of the timing of the steel and those kind of things. So the first load of steel came in yesterday. We started it, and they'll finish that up probably today. And then we're expecting more steel probably Friday. And then we'll finish the middle section. And then next week, we'll finish up the whole terminal for steel erection.
Wow.
Okay? So it moves real fast, real fast.
And when will you start work on the interior of the terminal?
Right now, I really don't know, because we'll probably discuss that at our construction meeting on Tuesday. But more than likely, they'll probably start some of the exterior stuff, maybe the interior.
Where do we go from here? Obviously, we've seen the beginnings of the girders going up. We see the construction taking place at the terminal now. What's the timetable looking like as things move forward?
We're looking forward to, assuming everything maintains its pace, that the air traffic control tower will be commissioned in late summer, which means fully operational and guys in the cab. And certainly with that tower, greatly enhanced, all the newest technology, better sight lines for the guys in the cab, and, again, looking ahead for everything we're doing here, we have to look ahead, this is 50 years old. We're looking ahead 25, 30 years. It's not tomorrow or next year. The rest of the project, as we get into the finishing off of the terminal building, the roadway, parking configurations, and lighting and landscaping. And I think when we're talking mid-fall, sometime in October for the terminal, and I think when people see what this looks like when it's finished, not just necessarily cars in the parking lot, but when the landscaping is done, when all of the finish work is done, and you ride through that rotary and you ride in and out of the access here, people are going to look at this and see what it really looks like. And they'll wonder how we ever put up with this for as long as we did.
While it wasn't discussed in depth, Sanchez did tell us that a bid opening for the new access road construction was scheduled for late last week. Once the winning bidder is announced, we will have that information for you on our daily talk show, Barnstable This Morning. We've heard plenty about the physical work being done at the airport, but once it's finished, what will it all add up to in terms of the dollars and cents that it could generate for our community? I asked Commissioner Griffin about that as well.
Last question I have for you guys is we've talked a lot with Bud and with other members of the Airport Commission about this project, and with you, John, specifically. And obviously the aesthetic improvement is going to be evident, abundantly evident, as you had mentioned. But there's also been a lot of talk about making a new terminal, reimagining the airport campus. It will be an economic driver for our community. And I wonder if you can speak to that, why you think that would end up being the case.
I think that it's pretty obvious that even as the airport sits right now, if you take into consideration everybody that works, not just for the airport itself, but all of the people at Cape Air, Island Air, Nantucket Shuttle, Rectrix, both sides, and then you look at some of the private facilities that are here. If you look at the stuff that's inside the fence or abutting the fence, right now this is, and I don't have a statistic for it, but I would be willing to bet that the airport is probably directly or indirectly one of the largest employers on Cape Cod. Tremendous amount of jobs that are here. As things progress, we'd like to go back to I'd love to see the day when the East Ramp is full of, personal airplanes again. It used to be. I used to keep one there. It was, a lot of that has changed. The economy has changed. I would, personally, I'm not talking about bringing great big airplanes in here, but I would sure love to see some regional service here where somebody comes in with a quiet, efficient commuter type aircraft, or regional type jet, yes, but jets are quiet now. To be able to walk into this terminal and go to BWI or go to Philadelphia or go to Atlanta,
you think the new facility can open up the airport to those types of business opportunities?
It certainly can't hurt. You can't coerce an airline to come in here. If the market's there, they'll come.
For regular progress updates on construction at the airport, join us every other Wednesday on Barnstable This Morning at 8:10 a.m. when Airport Manager Bud Brialt is our guest. This week is a busy one for board and committee meetings. Let's take a look at the schedule. Tuesday, February 15th, the Airport Commission meets in the Gorley Conference Room at the Barnstable Municipal Airport, that meeting at 4 p.m. At 6:30 p.m., the Conservation Commission meets in the Town Hall hearing room. Wednesday, February 16th, the Zoning Board of Appeals meets in the Town Hall hearing room at 7 p.m. Also at 7, the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission meets in the Selectmen's Conference Room. At 7:30 p.m., the Shellfish Committee meets in the MEA Conference Room on Finney's Lane. On Thursday, February 17th, the Town Council meets in the Town Hall hearing room. Well, that's all for now. I'm Nick Cortez, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.